Hi, this is an example of project number 8 that we're going to do, and it involves several steps. We will be using an analogous complementary color palette. Here's an example of a student work, and you can see that there's a light value, a medium value, and a dark value included in this color palette. So once you've chosen your two analogous colors and found their complements, now it's time to find all the combinations that might be available for your choice. As you can see on this chart, this person chose orange and blue. And when you mix the two together, you get a kind of a brown color. When you add a little more orange, you get this color. When you add a little more blue, you get this color. Each of these colors can be lightened with yellow and white or deepened with violet and black. So everybody will have a piece of illustration board that's 15 inches by 18 inches, which are multiples of 3. And with a pencil, lightly draw a grid, a 3-inch grid, on your illustration board. So you'll be able to see where the grid is. Once you've done that, you have your two designs that you've come up with, your two asymmetrical designs. And now you're going to try to figure out a rotation with the two designs. And that's going to involve some play. So for instance, let's say you start with this one design and you do it every other square. So a really simple rotation would be up, down, up, down, up, down. And then you take your second design and think about, all right, maybe I'm going to do up, down with that one as well. So up, down, up, down, up, down. And you can already see how these are starting to come together as a bigger design. Maybe you don't like this one. Well, then what happens if you do 45-degree rotation? So this way, and then rotate it 45 degrees, and then one more time, and then another time, and so forth and so on. And maybe you do one design per row. And you look at that and you say, yay or nay? You might also consider beginning your rotation in the middle and going out in a spiral and see what happens when you do that. Try to think of every possibility for rotation. Give yourself that time to play, and hopefully you're going to discover what it is you want to paint. Once you've decided on your rotation design, now you need to transfer that onto your illustration board. A very easy way to do that is to take a small piece of carbon paper and attach it to the back of one of your designs using two little pieces of tape. And when you do set it on your board, you can line it up with your grid in the orientation that you've chosen. And with a pencil then, you can trace the design onto the board. Once you've transferred your design onto the illustration board, now it's time to add the color. Of course, you're going to be using the acrylic paint that you've been working with, and you're going to be using the color palette that you've recorded in your sketchbook. Just to point out this particular student's rotation design, you can see this row everything, the two designs are both pointing up. When he gets to the second row, the design then points down. However, when he gets to the third row, the designs point away from each other. And same is true for the next row. And the last two rows become mirror image of the top two rows. And it yields an interesting design. Also, this person has remembered to include a light value, which we know would be yellow, a medium value, which would be orange, and a deep value, which would be the violet, or these dark blues. The most important part of this assignment is the process that you're creating it. I want to encourage you to find the design through rotation rather than finding the rotation through the design.